They're good listeners. Charmers immerse and focus themselves in what the other person is saying. They aren't busy thinking of a rebuttal or a response. They don't interrupt people while they're speaking, try to dominate the conversation or tell stories to brag about themselves. They don't use a conversation to give a lecture or unsolicited advice. Instead, they make people feel like they've been heard and focus on what they're saying. Everyone loves to talk about themselves, says Mike Goldstein, founder and lead dating coach of Easy Dating Coach. Ask the people you meet to do so. They use the conversation to learn about what you know. You're far more likely to charm someone when you make them feel heard, says Sherry Burbach, author of Art and Faith, Mixed Media Art with a Faith-Filled Message, who specializes in relationships and helping people connect. They speak clearly. They take their time to think about each sentence, avoiding any unnecessary fillers that will make them unclear. This way, everything they say has a purpose and objective. These good communicators speak confidently, precisely, and deliberately. If you ramble on or go off track, you're more likely to lose someone, says Burbach. But sharing a few genuine, clearly spoken words will leave an impact. And being direct, concise, and succinct makes them come across as more friendly. They ask for advice. When someone asks for your advice, it shows that they value your opinion and sincerely want to know and trust what you think. And people typically love to talk, especially if it relates to themselves. They hold your knowledge in high regard. Asking someone to share their area of expertise helps boost their confidence, and it will likely make them think of you more favorably and memorably. They're authentic and genuine. People seek someone who is real since they know they're trustworthy. No one likes a fake or a phony. When this happens, you feel played instead of being treated like a unique, special human being, says Burbach. You don't want to have to waste time trying to figure out someone's hidden agenda. If you're likable, you're comfortable in your own skin and know what makes you happy. And that makes you more interesting and appealing to people. When we come across someone who is authentic with their words and intentions, it stands out, says Burbach. People can tell when you're not being real, and it's annoying. They ditch their phones. Likely nothing is more of a turn-off than when someone sends a quick text or even glances at their phone while you're chatting. In order to really make a positive impact on someone, you have to not only put your phone away, you have to pretend you don't have it, says Burbach. You feel like they care more about their device than their conversation with you. The signal you send when you constantly check your phone when you're spending time with someone is that the person on the other end, on the screen, is more important, says relationship expert Andrea Sirish, author of He's Just Not Your Type. And that's a good thing. People quickly pick up on it when the person they're spending time with isn't present or engaged. It's not a good feeling for the person on the receiving end. When someone is charismatic, he makes you feel like you're the most important person in the world and uses the chat as an opportunity to learn about you, not to bury his head in his phone. They use your name in conversations. Who doesn't like to hear the sound of their name? A charismatic person remembers people's names and greets them with it. It shows that you made enough of an impression that someone made the effort and time to remember your name. Your name is one of the most important words in your life, and it has a highly powerful and positive emotional charge, says Stacey Laura Lloyd, a health and relationships writer and co-author of Is Your Job Making You Fat? How to Lose the Office 15 and more. When you hear your name in the course of a conversation, it grabs your attention, indicates that whatever is about to follow is important and boosts your self-esteem while simultaneously generating and fortifying trust between you and the speaker. They'll add in some small and personal details, sometimes to a surprising degree, and information that they recall too. It helps make us feel better and prouder about ourselves, and in turn, increases their likability. They don't name drop. They may remember names, but they don't squeeze in the name of celebrity they just met into every conversation. Sure, they may know people who are high profile, but they don't talk about it, and that makes them even more likable. They don't need to use anyone else's names to substantiate their worth because they bring enough value that they don't need anyone else to amplify them, says Laurel House, a dating and empowerment coach on E! is famously single. They're comfortable and confident enough to stand alone in their skin without being surrounded by the presence of the names of anyone else. They acknowledge others' accomplishments. Who doesn't want to be recognized and appreciated for something they did that they're proud about? Notice these good doings and you'll be sure to be remembered favorably and positively. It's a basic human need for each of us to be seen, heard and valued, says Sirtish. People who engage others instinctively know this. A charming person doesn't have to be the only one shining, says House, because when they let you shine some of your light on them. Just be sure to do so in a way that doesn't come across as insincere, superficial, or phony. Otherwise, you won't be trusted and it could hurt and damage your relationship. They pick up on nonverbal cues. Nonverbal cues are just as important as verbal ones to people who are charismatic. They understand that nonverbal cues often convey far more meaning than merely the spoken word, and they're highly aware of the pitch, tone, volume and body language of others, says Lloyd. When you're in an intense conversation, they often copy the other's nonverbal cues like smiling or making good eye contact. Charming people apply their knowledge of nonverbal communication to help clarify and emphasize what they're saying in order to further engage others in the dialogue, says Lloyd. By mimicking and paying attention to the speaker's body language, the other person feels more comfortable and better about herself. They let someone know they believe in them. Even the most successful people have likely had to overcome some adversity to get to where they are today. These people remember those who had faith in them and encourage them to rise above any challenge in their way. They offer praise in a way that's genuine without being excessive. When someone shows that they have faith in another person, it makes them feel good about themselves and gives them the confidence to do better. They look for common interests. We all have a shared interest if we look long enough. Once you find out what it is, you'll have a stronger connection. Mutual interests provide an avenue and outlet for people to express what they love. They help conversations flow in a positive direction. Finding common ground also shows that you care about them because you're interested in what's important to them. They don't focus on themselves. People who are likable don't spend too much time obsessing about themselves. They don't worry how well they're liked. Instead, they focus on those around them. In conversations, they ask a lot of questions, including ones that are open-ended to draw the other person out. They treat everyone respectfully, whether it's the waiter taking their dinner order or their biggest client. Charming people realize that everyone should be treated with the same kindness. Everyone deserves respect, and if you see someone disrespect another person, you won't walk away with a positive opinion of them, no matter what they've said to you, says Burbach. A charismatic person doesn't feel that they're better than or above anyone else. They skip the small talk. The key to using small talk correctly is to not get stuck in it, says Burbach. Small talk should serve as an opener that allows you to find out more about a person so you can get to more meaty subjects, she says. What kind of impression do you leave if all you talk about is the weather? That's no way to create and build an emotional connection with someone. Small talk is forgettable, says House. Conversations of depth are memorable. Charming people form a bond in even the shortest and most basic of conversations. They show a genuine interest in you that enables them to relate to you and ask deep questions right off the bat. If someone walked up to you and went deep into conversation without knowing you, it may put you off, says Burbach. But if they open with small talk and then quickly transition to a topic that you could both enjoy discussing, this would make you feel connected on more than just a superficial level. They don't mind looking a bit silly. The number one most attractive quality in both men and women is confidence, says Goldstein. If you can dance like no one is watching, you'll highlight your confidence, help others unwind, make others feel comfortable and show the world that you're fun. So, they're at ease with putting their guard down occasionally. They're okay with being a source of laughter for others and themselves. And people respect them more, not less, for that. People laugh with them, not at them. They're consistent. When you're all over the place and people have no idea what they're dealing with, you might not be very likable. People reliably know what kind of response to expect from someone who is charismatic. So even if you're in a bad mood, it doesn't change how you treat people. Be yourself, says Goldstein. People will be drawn to your consistency and feel comfortable knowing where you stand all the time. you have a basic and sound idea of who you really are.